What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I want to talk about the 5 biggest time wasters. By avoiding these ones, or at least reducing the amount of time every week, you can save hours every week to have more time for going to the gym, meet friends, or work on a side project that is also very important for you. So let's take a look here and let's get started. First of all, social media. Of course, we all spend tons of time on Instagram or Twitter, TikTok, or watching random videos on YouTube. And it also happened to me a lot of times in the past that I spent much more time there than I actually intentionally wanted to do. So back in the days, I spent many hours every day to check for new stories of my friends, or if I go on YouTube I see very interesting videos suddenly that I actually do not want to watch, but I start suddenly doing it for some reasons, and you just get like lost in there without realizing it very soon. That's just the case because there's a lot of smart people working on these apps, making them very interesting. The algorithm is just really personalized to your interest as well, and therefore we are very hooked, like using a slot machine or something. It's very addictive, the dopamine hit is very high, and it's just very important to use these ones much less. Of course, it's okay if you use them intentionally, if you're interested in taking a look there. But I think most of us, including me, we oftentimes spend much more time there than we actually wanted to and we should. So first, in my opinion, what really helps is just to have the realization that this is a thing that just takes your time. By knowing that, you already realize much better, okay, seeing if it's really the thing that I want to do. But oftentimes it's not enough. So furthermore, I also remove the social media apps from my home screens on my iPhone. This also helps to not thinking about them so much, make it much more difficult to use them. And furthermore, I also downloaded an app that also increased the friction. So whenever nowadays I open a social media like Instagram, when I click on the app, there's just this other app appearing, and it asks me if I really want to open the social media app. So here's another more friction that I need to think about it. Do I really want to do it? So I have to click on the button again, and then another 5 seconds, nothing happens before the app finally opens. So here's like another decision that I have to take. Like it makes me think again, do I really want to use this app? Is that really useful right now? Do I use the time like I want it? And oftentimes I realize in this 5 seconds then, hey, actually no, I don't really want to use the app right now. I'm just wasting my time. So then oftentimes I just quit and I again focus on the thing that is more important for me. Of course, sometimes I also like to use the app. I don't want to say like you shouldn't use them at all anymore. However, just be intentionally about the time you use them. Second, news. This is also a big one in my opinion. When I was younger, I checked the news several times a day. I'm honest here right now. It's quite addictive in my opinion. They make it very emotionally and very clickbaiting. So you're very hooked, and again, a lot of dopamine hit in there. So you're interested in checking again and again. And slowly I realized it's also a big waste of time. Oftentimes, there's just not important news you get from most homepages on newspapers. And I realized it does not give me so much. Of course, it's important in my opinion to know what's going on. However, I decided for myself, if I heard some news, I will just intentionally Google on this topic and want to find out more about it. Or besides that, I also tell myself that I can read a newspaper, but just like a big one, like the New York Times, just once a week, and that's already enough to figure out what's going on in the world, what is important for me. And it helped me to save much more time and actually knowing enough about what's going on, or even more, instead of just clicking on news homepages every day several times. Third thing I want to talk about is TV. In the past, as a teenager, I also used TVs a lot. I watched oftentimes many hours, 3 or 4 hours a day. And when I got older, especially when I started to study medicine, I realized that's also a lot of waste of time, in my opinion. First of all, you could use the time much better for doing something, and the things you watch oftentimes do not give you that much entertaining or news or information, and it also drains a lot of energy, in my opinion. So afterwards, I often felt very tired, and I didn't even realize what I did for these hours. Like, I couldn't remember many things from watching the TV. So therefore, again, I could also recommend you to just try it, see if you stop watching TV, if that really helps you. Maybe, I would imagine it will do. I'm not saying you do not have to watch any TV anymore or like quit forever. No. I mean, in the future, in a few months, we will have the European Cup in Germany here, and then I will also, of course, watch a couple of matches in the TV, and I'm excited about that as well. But again here, like, choose intentionally what is interesting for you, what kind of documentary or sports event you want to watch, and then of course do it. I'm just saying, like, try to avoid this unnecessary time of watching TV. In my opinion, that also saves you a lot of time. Fourth, I also think it's important to say no oftentimes. When you're going through life, you have to make a lot of decisions. There's hundreds of options just for thinking about what kind of sports you want to do, what kind of people you want to meet. You always have to make decisions for something, but also against something, because if you're doing too many things, it's just not possible for one life, in my opinion. Of course, you can do different kind of sports, but I guess you cannot do 10 different kind of sports every week. That's just too much. And you also cannot meet 10 people every week. I guess you have to limit it a little bit, which is okay, in my opinion, because you need to know, like, what is important for me. Where's my focus? Where's my goal? And therefore, you're not able to say yes to everything. Oftentimes, and probably most of the time, you have to say no to really achieve the things that you want to, that you say yes to. And finally, the fifth point is about using the spare times. So oftentimes, we have sometimes left before something new starts. Like, maybe you have a meeting and there's like 15 minutes left, or you have a little break waiting for some blood results when you're working in the clinic, so there's another 17 minutes. And then you can use this spare time efficiently. So when you're, for example, at home and you're waiting for the next call in 15 minutes, you can use this time with something that you really need. Of course, you can use this 15 minutes for taking a break, having a little nap. That could also be an intentionally and productive way of using the time. But on the other hand, you could also use this 15 minutes for bringing the trash down, or you can think about what would be the next step I want to do. So for me, when I want to think about my YouTube channel, I would think maybe about another video idea. What could I create? I could write it down. I could also do some research about a topic that I want to make a video about in the future, or I could write some notes for a script. And just do not waste these minutes. They are very important, they are very meaningful, and they accumulate over time. So if you always just say like, oh no, I just have 15 minutes to wait here. Also, maybe even if you're queuing up for some food in a restaurant or something, you can use this time, because otherwise it accumulates every day, maybe 1 or 2 hours. And in the long term, that's a lot of time to make process. So also do not waste this time. Finally, I just want to say that you do not have to give up on all these points that I say. like TV or news or social media. Of course, you can still use that. I just want to talk about try to do it intentionally and try to use it as long as you really want to. Like, do not make the mistake of use it longer than you actually planned, like getting lost in there for many hours and then wondering at the end, like, where's the day suddenly? What happened? Yeah, that's just my point. Try it again as an experiment. Try it out if that helps you. If you're saying like, no, I'm doing everything fine, I cannot save more time, then that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that was just like an idea in my opinion to maybe try something new to save some time. It helped very well for me. I have much more time for doing the things that I love, that I want to do. So see how it works for you. And thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in knowing how much doctors earn in Germany, check out the video here. And if you also want to know how my life as an ophthalmologist looks like, check the video down here. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.